started. Hello everyone, so I'm back and this time on YouTube. Today we have a special guest, special because क्योंकि इनकी जो स्पेशलिटी है वो बहुत यूनिक है और बहुत डिफरेंट है. डिफरेंट इसलिए the topic which she has picked for full-time freelancing is quite unique. Unique because it is mindful journaling. Yes, friends, today we are here with Akansha and I welcome her wholeheartedly because mindful journaling is not just an easy or maybe a difficult topic, but it is a topic in which people take it so lightly that whether we can take it or not, or whether we can do mindful journaling, or maybe I would say it's quite underhyped in India. So talking about this topic, mindful journaling, it can has a different impact on your life, on your mental well-being. And having said that, मैंने खुद ये अपनी लाइफ में एक्सपीरियंस किया है. आई एम नॉट जस्ट सेइंग हियर जस्ट फॉर द हेक ऑफ इट. आई हैव डन माइंडफुल जर्नलिंग विद आकांक्षा एंड इट हैज एन इमीडिएट इफेक्ट ऑन माय मेंटल वेल-बीइंग. सो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू वेलकम आकांक्षा ऑन दिस discussion with all of you on mindful journaling. Welcome, Akansha.
Thank you so much, Kriti, for such a kind introduction. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much, and so am I. So I know that you have been in Delhi and born and brought up in Delhi. So what probably brought you to mindful journaling? Before we deep dive into the topic, actually, I would like that everyone should know thoda bahut aapke liye. You know, you like smiling, bright, young. So what actually made you leave your corporate jobs and good salary package and jump into it? So please, over to you.
Yeah, my first interaction with journaling was actually, I think, 10 years back. I was working at Zomato.com at that point, and one of my friends was leaving for his master's abroad. And when we went to drop him at the airport, suddenly ना मुझे ऐसा याद आया कि उसने कॉलेज में बोला था कि वो अपना इंजीनियरिंग करेगा and then he'll do his masters Germany जाके. He was very fond of cars, and then I saw him taking a flight and kind of go, and I think at that point it sort of hit me. Oh wow, like this guy had a vision and he made it happen and he's going, and that kind of started for me to this thought process of okay, what is it that I want to do in my life? What is my vision? What is my life going to be about? So that's the first time I started thinking a little deeper about who am I, what's the meaning of life for me, what's my vision, what's my purpose, and all of that. And fortunately or unfortunately, it kind of kept on going for a long time. This was, I think, September of 2013, and August of 2014, almost 1 year on and off, I would think about do I want to stick at Zomato? And I was doing pretty well. It was a startup back then, and I was like in a phase where Zomato had seen like skyrocketing growth. And मुझे लगा था यार सब सही तो है, मतलब क्या चाहिए लाइफ में, but I was not happy, because it was not very meaningful. And all of this kind of got me into this loop of what is it, what am I doing? And I was feeling very low for a very long time. And fortunately, I found this guy who is a life coach. And I got talking to him, and I was like, this is what's been happening, and I've been thinking about all of this for the last 1 year. Can you please help me? And I went on and on, like, blabbering like this young 21, 22-year-old. ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, ऐसा हो रहा है, वैसा हो रहा है, पता है मेरा दोस्त चला गया. He's like, what, Akansha, calm down. Why don't you write all of this in an email and send it to me? And I was like, अरे, I can just like, मैं आपको बता सकती हूँ, email में लिख के भेजने का क्या जरूरत है. But at that point I didn't realize, suddenly it just given me this really life-changing, powerful tool of writing my thoughts down. And I started writing that email, and I think it took a whole week to write everything that was on my mind. I still remember, I think I wrote 7,762 words.
मतलब कितना दिमाग में चल रहा था?
हाँ, एक साल का पूरा. और interestingly, मतलब just a fun fact, an average person on any given day, gets up to 6,000 thoughts. 6 to 60 actually, that's what science tells us. And we really undermine that, and that's what causes all this stress and anxiety, because हमें ट्रेन नहीं किया है हमने अपने माइंड को उसको हैंडल कैसे करना है. So obviously, all these tools then, like journaling, like meditation, or even exercising, contemplation, ये सब help करता है to kind of handle our minds better. So I think that was my introduction to journaling. And then there was no looking back. Every time I had to take major decisions, or I wanted clarity about something, or I wanted to set a vision or a goal, I would always go back to a pen and paper and use it as a tool to, talk to myself, get clarity. Yeah. And in fact, even like big decisions like leaving a job, you just mentioned, leaving Zomato happened because of journaling. Even later, when I had to join Tata Steel and leave Tata Steel, because of course it was like very cushion, comfortable, high paying job.
I'm sure Tata gives that privilege.
yeah. तो वो सब decision में भी बहुत help किया journaling में. So kind of that went on and on and on. And of course, like 2020, which is about 7 years later, when pandemic happened, I was freelancing with this mental health startup, and they had taken funding, but suddenly pandemic हो गया, तो उनके meditation studios बंद हो गए. And I was supposed to create content to support those physical studios. So now that pandemic was there were no studios, no content to be created, so they kind of had to let go of me. And I was jobless. I was one of those people who lost their jobs when pandemic hit. And I was like, okay, what the hell do I do now? And with all of that, I think it was time for me to kind of figure something out. I was feeling low. I was feeling depressed, lost. And it occurred to me, okay, what I can do? I can just I don't know who to go and tell all this to, whatever is going on in my mind, but I can at least write it down. I do that, right? Sometimes, even if, sometimes people around me would make fun of me that, oh, you need to kind of go and write everything down. I was like, ठीक है भाई, तुमको नहीं समझ में आ रहा, that's fine. But this is what works for me. And this is a challenge actually, many of my students also tell me they face. But again, I picked up my journal, and I think about 4-5 days, I kept on writing, not like subah se sham, but I would do a 20-30 minute, 1 hour writing session. Yeah, then I would take a break, come back, and I was like, I have to figure everything out. Okay, what am I thinking about my goals? What am I thinking about my health? What am I thinking about my finances? What am I thinking about my relationships? Because obviously, life was suddenly changed. You were not meeting your loved ones. You couldn't go outside home. You were just stuck. And, I had some close ones who were always also going through some mental health issues. So just dealing with them. तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा था. तो, but you know what happened when I wrote about everything and I kind of worked through, I did some inner work using the tool of journaling. 4-5 days later, I was feeling very different. I was feeling lighter. I was feeling happier. I was feeling focused. I was feeling enthusiastic, energetic, and all of that. And it just dawned on to me that, dude, nothing really physically changed in my circumstances in the last 5 days. The only thing that changed was my perspective, how I'm looking at this outer world of mine. And the only thing that I had done in the last 5 days was figure things out in my head. And I was like, wow, journaling is such a powerful tool that, and it's all about the mindset, right? Like same situation, आप उसको एक तरह से देखोगे तो वो problem है, दूसरी तरह से देखोगे तो वो opportunity है grow करने के लिए कि अच्छा यार ये है तो अभी क्या करें, अगला next क्या करें, right? तो मुझे लगा कि ये तो बहुत ही powerful चीज है. And so many people were struggling with such mental health issues when pandemic had hit. Everybody was home and depressed. So many people were living alone. So, with a lot of encouragement from some of my friends, they said, no, you should take this to people. So, I built a workshop out of it, primarily based on everything that I'd done on my own. Wow. And I structured it. And of course, I couldn't go it like aisa kahin se bhi. So I bought some books. I did some good research, scientific research on journaling, because a lot of therapists also use journaling as a tool to help people, deal with anxiety and just feel more hopeful about life, or even put structure to one's day. It's basically a way to kind of handle your mind a little better. Yeah, right. So then I created a little structure. I tested my workshop with my immediate close family and friends, and they gave me feedback. And so then I just ran a Facebook ad and I started getting people interested. And I couldn't believe, in 6 months, I had reached out to a couple of thousands of people. So many people had paid money to me to do this workshop. And that actually encouraged me to create my level 2 programs also, because my initial workshop was a 5-day workshop. And the next step I realized was, so I would do some free webinars and this workshop, and people wanted more. So I was like, okay, what can I do? Then I started, my coaching programs, where I would okay, let's meet once a week. let's see, what progress you're making in a week, and then let's meet every Sunday and see what we learned. Could you apply it? What are your challenges? And this whole beautiful community feeling had come into play, where we had formed this online community of a couple of hundreds of people. We just come together, learn something new, and I think we got the chance to create this very safe space जहाँ पे सब आके अपनी दिल की बात बोल सकते थे, कोई जज नहीं कर रहा है, तो very safe community.
So inspirational.
Yeah. So मुझे लगा हाँ यार ये सही है. तो I think some version of it, कुछ हुआ उसके बाद, whatever, career wise, but I think I mean that's how journaling का पूरा journey ये रहा है. तो अभी भी like you attended a workshop, right?
Yes.
I think your particular workshop also had a couple of thousands of people. तो अभी इसी तरह के collaboration चल रहे हैं, where I'm just trying to create a lot of content on Instagram and YouTube. I'm a little inactive. I want to get back there, but like Instagram पे I'm creating more content. There are some digital products that people are interested in. So uske through I'm still teaching people and helping people improve their mental health using tools of journaling and some other mental health tools.
So one thing I would like to ask is, you started with journaling, and then before, there are things, of course, which are journaling is one thing, and what is different that you have added is mindful journaling. So what is the difference? Because even I have been doing journaling since a long time, and when I actually saw your account, it says mindful journaling. So for all the viewers, her Instagram account is mindful journaling academy. So what is the difference, if you can explain?
So journaling, I think, basically means to put down your thoughts and feelings, right? And it's a very generic term. It's relatively, बहुत पहले अगर आप trends भी देखोगे तो diary writing बोलते थे, है ना? But in the last 10 years, globally, when people are writing down their thoughts and feelings, whether it's in the clinical circles, when your therapist asks you to do something like this, or generally any kind of coach is helping you figure something out, they'll use the word journaling. So journaling in general is just writing down your thoughts and feelings, or writing down your goals, or whatever it is when you have a diary and you're writing everything down to process something mentally. Mindful journaling is something, it's a product that I created. It's a, you can call it a trademark product of sorts.
Okay.
And my intention with that was to do it more mindfully. Because all the exercises that I teach in my journaling, it's just not something random. It has something to do. So like the mindful journaling, I've created a structure which has 3 parts to it, right? The first part is writing to release, in which we do exercises where you learn how to use writing to release stress and feel a little lighter. So
yeah, you just
it is
sorry to cut you. So you mentioned one thing when you were sharing your journey, कि लोग शेयर नहीं कर पाते हैं, and probably I will touch base on one more topic in this, कि journaling में, like how it works and how it helps. Reason being that you said that you took time to pen it down and all. Now some people can be very lazy, and at times I become very lazy. And मैं सच बात बताऊं, when I attended your workshop, I asked you this question, can I write in my phone digitally instead of pen and paper? Because लिखने की आदत खत्म हो गई है. So एक तो लोग शेयर नहीं कर पाते हैं, शेयर करते भी हैं तो उनको लगता है that feeling of being judged. So how it helps mindful journaling? First question is this, and how it works, like side by side. और वो लोग शेयर कैसे नहीं कर पाते, तो लिख के क्या हो जाएगा?
ठीक है, तो 2-3 चीजें हैं. पहली चीज तो मैं फटाफट से कंप्लीट कर लेती हूँ. माइंडफुल जर्नलिंग जो मैं स्ट्रक्चर बता रही हूँ ना, तो उसमें एक पार्ट है राइटिंग टू रिलीज. तो उसका दिस विल आंसर द अदर क्वेश्चन यू आस्क्ड. सी, राइटिंग का वन एस्पेक्ट व्हिच इज टू राइटिंग टू रिलीज, जिसे मैं बोलती हूँ स्ट्रेस रिलीज के लिए है. It has the same effect that a conversation has. Like for example, if I'm upset, I come to you, I say, Kriti, ये सब चल रहा है लाइफ में यार, बहुत टेंशन है, blah 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 blah, and I will feel a little bit relieved. Journaling has the exact same effect. But the question is, will I come to you every time I'm feeling stressed? Will I come to you or even the closest people in my life, right? तो हम सबको पता है कि हम तो बात कर सकते हैं ना. Some students, like anyone who's considering journaling as a rule, वो बोल सकते हैं यार I can just go talk to my loved one. Why do I need to write everything down? Yes, sure. If you think all the thoughts that you go through at a personal level, you have a safe space to share with somebody, please go ahead and do that. But quite practically, it's not practical, right? होता ही नहीं है वो. आप बैठे हुए हो ऑफिस में, किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया आपके एफर्ट्स के बारे में, अब आपके मन में एकदम एक कहानी स्टार्ट हो जाती है, अरे दे आर नॉट एक्नॉलेजिंग, दे डोंट वैल्यू मी, एवरीबडी इज जजिंग मी, समवन एल्स विल गेट अ प्रमोशन. अब ये सब जो थॉट का पूरा चेन स्टार्ट हो गया है, अब अंटिल यू रीच होम यू नॉट बी एबल टू शेयर इट विद एनीवन, और मे बी यू विल टेक द वीकेंड कि जब दोस्त से मिलेंगे तब. सो नाउ यू गोइंग टू फॉर 3 days 4 days or 10 hours be bothered by it. This is where journaling helps, because till the point you reach where you can share with someone, you can quickly write it down so that at least it gets out of your system. Research shows that जब हम कोई information को अपने system में hold करके रखते हैं mentally, तो वो stress create करता है. जब हम उसको अपने system से निकाल देते हैं, verbalize कर देते हैं अपने thoughts और experience को शब्दों में, तो वो हमें stress को release कर देता है. That is the purpose of writing to release. कि जो चल रहा है उससे जो भारीपन महसूस हो रहा है, टेंशन महसूस हो रहा है, उसको लिख के आप थोड़ा सा निकाल दो सिस्टम से. बोल के भी निकाल सकते हो, पर ऑडियो जर्नलिंग कर लो, कोई बात नहीं, रिकॉर्डर ऑन कर लो, उसमें बोल दो कि यार ये लग रहा है, ये लग रहा है, व्हाटएवर है, दैट कैन वर्क. And like you're saying, using your phone, I do that all the time. So many times you're on the go. जैसे मानो किसी से आप मिले, कोई कॉन्वर्सेशन हुई, अभी एकदम से उसकी वजह से कोई एक चेन ऑफ थॉट नेगेटिव स्टार्ट हो गया, तो अब I'll not wait कि I'll get home, pick up my diary and do it. I'll just pick up my phone, Evernote या कोई भी note taking app आप खोलो, और उसमें आप you can just dump whatever is on your mind. So definitely you can use this tool. The other thing that you asked is कि possible नहीं हो पाता है सबके साथ सब कुछ शेयर करना, तो इसलिए journaling help करता है, because it gives you that breathing window of take shit out of your mind and system. So that is how journaling helps. It's a very core of why and how journaling helps. This is the science. This is what science tells us. When you convert your experiences and your feelings into words, when you verbalize what's going on inside of you, शब्दों में जब हम लिखते हैं तो वो हम उसको स्ट्रक्चर दे पाते हैं. तो उससे 2-3 चीजें होती हैं. एक तो उससे आप प्रोसेस कर पाते हो क्या चल रहा है, नहीं तो ना इतना ओवरवेल्म हो जाता है, समझ ही नहीं आता भाई मुझे इतना सब फील हो रहा है पर क्यों हो रहा है. तो आप प्रोसेस कर पाते हो एक अपने इंटेलेक्ट के, एक थॉट के लेवल पे. जो इमोशन है बहुत बढ़ जाता है, जो कभी कभी वो इमोशन थोड़ा कम हो जाता है. देखो आपने रियलाइज किया होगा, एकदम गुस्से में हम एकदम रिएक्ट कर देते हैं, उसके बारे में जब बात करते हैं उसके बाद लगता है यार इतना क्या रिएक्शन का जरूरत था. तो जैसे ही शब्दों में कन्वर्ट करते हैं उस एक्सपीरियंस को, वो इमोशनल ओवरवेल्म कम हो जाता है. और तीसरी चीज, जो इंट्रूसिव थॉट्स होते हैं ना, वापस वापस हम सोच रहे हैं एक चेन बना के, हम उसको जब बात कर देते हैं उसके बारे में, चाहे जर्नल में किसी और से, वो मेमोरी में थोड़ा शांत हो जाता है. उतना वापस से आपकी ओवर थिंकिंग का जो प्रॉब्लम सब कंप्लेन करते हैं, वो प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा खत्म हो जाता है, क्योंकि एक बार आपने प्रोसेस कर लिया, यू मेड पीस विद इट, राइट. दैट इज समथिंग वी सीक इंट्रिंसिकली, टू मेक पीस विद और टू मेक एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन. बिकॉज इफ दैट डजंट हैपन, देन यू विल कीप क्वेश्चनिंग, अरे ऐसा क्यों, उसने ऐसा क्यों कहा, मैंने ऐसा क्यों कहा, वो क्या हुआ, अब इसका क्या होगा. जब उसको एक आंसर मिल जाता है माइंड को, तो वो माइंड थोड़ा रिलैक्स हो जाता है, शांत हो जाता है. सो दिस इज हाउ जर्नलिंग हेल्प्स. दिस इज वन पार्ट. The other 2 parts is again it helps with problem solving and contemplation. कि अच्छा मेरे पास अब ये चैलेंज है, मैं इसका क्या करूं, सोचते रहेंगे बैठ के क्या करें से अच्छा है जर्नलिंग में I teach how you can use journaling to actually work through that problem and become solution oriented, right? And the third bit, that is what I call writing to reflect, and the third is writing to rewire, because हमारा जो mind है वो constantly negativity bias में फंसा रहता है. Naturally, मैं आपको बोलूं कृति, your hair look great, your eyes look great, and you're looking so presentable. मैं आपको सब compliments दे दूंगी, but एक चीज मैं बोलूंगा, पता नहीं ऐसा लग रहा है थोड़ा मेकअप ओवर हो गया. You'll go back from the call, what will you think about, अरे मैंने ज्यादा मेकअप कर लिया क्या. हमारा माइंड ऐसा रिवायर्ड है कि हमें 10 कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स मिलते हैं, फोकस एक क्रिटिसिज्म या एक इंसल्ट.
मेरा तो यहाँ पे लाइट ही ज्यादा है.
So the point, no, you look beautiful. Just to give an example, right? ये सब जो ये overthinking है, मैं भी अगर होती आपकी जगह, मुझे भी ऐसा ही लगता है कि oh shit, did I, like, जैसे for example देखो अभी already I have a bad hair day, so I was not feeling well, तो मैंने कहा यार छोड़, अब नहीं होगा. So constantly when I came to this call, instead of focusing on everything I have to share and offer, मेरा एक था कि मेरे बाल खराब लगने वाले हैं. तो देखो कैसे.
So my question is कि लोग होते हैं where they hesitate to pen down the entire feelings, और वो मतलब they kind of restrict themselves even sharing on the paper, thinking कि कोई पढ़ना ले. And I really know people who have said this to me कि मैंने तो लिखा नहीं, और अगर लिख भी दिया तो मम्मी ने पढ़ लिया. And then she started scolding कि ये क्या क्या तेरे दिमाग में thoughts आते हैं. So because journaling is helpful and you have witnessed this for yourself, even I have done the workshop as I said and I have been doing, it is really helpful. तो उसका क्या आप solution दे सकते हो कि people actually openly everything whatever is going in their heart mind they just pen it down and then it is in safe space digitally or on paper or audio notes.
तो ये लेजिट है कंसर्न, पर जर्नलिंग का असली फायदा तभी होगा जब सच लिखेंगे, क्योंकि अगर लिख ही नहीं पाएंगे जो मन में चल रहा है तो फिर फायदा ही क्या है जर्नलिंग का, है ना. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, ट्रूली इफ यू वांट टू मेक बेस्ट यूज ऑफ जर्नलिंग, what is definitely a mandate is to be able to be honest with ourselves when we write down, because if you journaling में भी लिख के कुछ चीजें मन में ही छोड़ दोगे फिर वही वापस आएंगे वो thoughts, तो क्या फायदा. That's one. Second, now how to kind of deal with privacy aspect of journaling. So 2-3 options. One is that एक तो बोल दो भैया लोगों को back off कि भैया मत पढ़ो मेरी journal if you think people around you can respect your privacy. In some cases that's possible. In other cases where you know it's a new concept and like parents or siblings are like भाई क्या लिख रहे हो ऐसा. So something I used to do back when I kind of used to journal a couple of years back, तो मैं ना अपने काम के नोट्स या कुछ पढ़ाई के नोट्स के बीच में किसी रैंडम जर्नल या बुक में लिख लेती थी, so that it doesn't seem अलग से कि क्या लिखा हुआ है या something like that. So I buy very generic notebook, जैसे 5 एक ही तरह की नोटबुक है, उसमें से एक को बना लो, कोई नहीं खोल के पढ़ने वाला, किसी को पता भी नहीं चलेगा. वो भी सेफ नहीं लग रहा है तो डेफिनेटली डिजिटल जर्नलिंग टू द रेस्क्यू, राइट. सो देयर आर मेनी फ्री नोट एप्स, एवरनोट है एक, iOS और एंड्रॉयड दोनों पे अवेलेबल है, और भी कोई नोट टेकिंग ऐप आप ले सकते हो, तो उसमें लिख लो. many of these apps आप you can just put a passcode, so you can just lock it, don't share the password with anybody. You can do that. उसके अलावा भी लगता है यार बहुत ही कुछ प्राइवेट है तो या तो पेपर पे लिख के पेपर फाड़ दो या जला दो करीना कपूर की तरह.
that I have done once.
पर टू मच वर्क, तो या फिर डिजिटल लिख के उसको डिलीट कर दो, यही कर सकते हैं. पर जो लिख रहे हो वो ऑनेस्टली लिखो, होता फिर वो नहीं होना चाहिए उसका कि लिख के टेंशन हो गया, वो एक और एडिशनल एक और ओवर थिंकिंग की लाइन ऑफ थिंग्स में ऐड हो जाएगा. So when you're writing, write it fully honestly. If you think privacy is a problem, just figure out a way of digitally do it and just lock it. In fact, if you look up online, there are a bunch of journaling apps and websites which are specifically designed to protect your privacy. So you can use one of those. Evernote is a free one that you can definitely consider.
नहीं बहुत अच्छा आइडिया दिया आपने, सारे आइडियाज बहुत अच्छे थे. And what is that major, probably one of the life-changing thing that you would like to share or have witnessed that have helped that you have helped with mindful journaling?
You mean to ask somebody's story?
Yours itself.
My own story?
Yes. Okay. That has made a major change because of mindful journaling.
बहुत सारे हैं यार, like I think मैं तो on a very ongoing basis.
एक छोटा सा.
मतलब I'll just give an overarching answer, like you know everything, like right from my career decisions to my relationship decisions to finding my own self or having clarity of mind when I'm feeling very confused. सब में बहुत help करता है mindful journaling because it's such a holistic thing ना. You name a problem and I can tell you how journaling can help, right? you're confused, you want clarity, you contemplate, problem solving करो. आपको stress feel हो रहा है, लिख दो, निकाल दो अपने system से. आपको disciplined होना है, you know, you can use journaling for productivity. I have a product called the self-care planner. It's called the mindful planner also. So you can use journaling to track your goals, track what you want to do on a weekly basis, make to-do lists. Productivity के लिए आप use कर सकते हो journaling. तो it's endless. मेरे लिए if you think that, I think self-discovery as an aspect, it's really helped me. Okay. And it's an ongoing journey. ऐसा नहीं एक दिन हुआ और हो गया, right? Even the first story I told you, I was feeling so depressed from losing my job, being in a pandemic, feeling so low and depressed, to starting a whole business and, you know, earning, I think 5-6 figure business for quite some time in pandemic, out of nothing and nowhere. And that also got me published in Huffington Post UK as a happiness coach. So
Great.
yeah, I mean, this is just a great example of, this is all journaling. That's what helped me. So, and there are so many other students of mine who have also used journaling to feel so much transformation, you know, so empowering. One of my students, he was so stuck. He completed his MSc. He's studying it. He was, now he's got a job and everything. But he had failed a couple of exams. He was feeling very demotivated. Discipline was such a huge issue. So he used journaling very regularly to complete his thesis and everything. And he completed his master's in some electrical or something from IIT Guwahati. There was this other student who used journaling to, you know, figure everything out. She got a job. Some other student, she wrote her first book because, you know, she had envisioned, okay, this is what I want to do, and, you know, got that clarity, worked towards it. So journaling is basically a very supportive tool to do whatever you want to do while keeping your mind a bit sane. So when your mind is your friend, you know, you can just, it makes your life easy.
Very
You'll
much.
not be so stressed, so it won't take you down. It'll help you whenever you want to think something through. It can help you. And you know, the great thing is, it's like there are some people here, I'm har baar baith ke likhu kya? It'll get easier. Like now, every time I don't want to, I have to go and write like 3 good things when I want to focus on 3 good things, because I've rewired my mind enough that I can just pause, take a few breaths, take a moment, and mentally do that journaling also. Right, where I'm like, okay, just like let me forget everything and let me focus on what are some good things that happened in my day. I started it as a gratitude writing or a, you know, positivity writing exercise. So many times journaling can empower you to have these default mental networks where not every time you'll have to go back and write. Sometimes you'll need to. I remember I used to write every single day just to release stress for a good amount of time. I don't do it every day now. I don't need it because I'm just able to deal with my, you know, thoughts and emotions, process them more easily at my mental level itself. So that's also something you will experience over time.
You are being into this profession, and of course, there are people who have done the workshop. They are seeking this. They are seeking the product. They are seeking positivity. How you can, you know, suggest ways that this mindful journaling or journaling will help for people who are going through anxiety, stress, or even depression? And can you cite some examples where people have reached out to you and there are evident results that you could see in their health? Because the medication really impacts the health. And after pandemic, to be honest, I have seen a major impact even in youngsters' mental well-being. So this is a little tough or topic, but I really wanted this to include in our conversation.
Yeah. So first of all, as far as anxiety and depression is concerned, I think it's irresponsible for us to not use these terms loosely, because if somebody is saying I'm feeling depressed, that's different from someone saying I'm going through depression. So anxiety and depression, if clinically diagnosed, it's something definitely a psychologist needs. There needs to be a clinical intervention. And if someone watching this video is feeling that I'm feeling a lot more anxious than usual or I'm feeling very depressed, please go and get help. Speak to a psychologist or a psychiatrist and get diagnosed. So either you are actually going through clinical depression or clinical anxiety, and in case medication is required, then go ahead with that. And if you feel no, it's just something that, you know, just feeling depressed, you're just feeling low emotion, so you don't really need medication, but otherwise you need some help. That many of my students have gone through, and journaling has helped them, right? In fact, the girl I was telling you about, let me not go into somebody's detail, but there are a bunch of people who reported. So what I do usually when you come to my workshop, you attended a workshop with another community, so I don't control their data, but when someone comes to my academy or my workshop, I have a pre-workshop data that I do and then a post-workshop survey. So there I have had enough sample, like all the couple of thousands logon ka data, enough to state that, you know, how they were feeling when they came to the workshop before that and after the workshop. So there is a significant difference in, you know, feeling less low, like experiencing better emotions, feeling a little more confident, feeling a little more calm, So definitely there's enough evidence, and anyone who's feeling depressed or feeling a bit anxious, definitely using the tools of writing can help you. However, I would also like to say research on writing and research on journaling also says that it's not mandatory that it will work for everybody. Like, for example, there is so much, research on meditation that it helps everyone, right? But not everyone is able to do it for whatever reasons. So like
not
that,
being
any other
patient
tool.
enough, or maybe doing it in the right way, consistency.
हाँ, करेक्ट कुछ भी हो सकता है, सबका अपना मेंटल मेकअप अलग है, फिर किसी को चमकता है, किसी को नहीं चमकता है. बट मोस्टली मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि फॉर एवरी 10 people who come and try journaling, 8 out of them it kind of helps and works. Now what you want to consistently work on it or not is a separate story altogether, but if you give it an honest shot, will it help you? Most likely it will. And if it doesn't, then you can just try something else, but don't give up on yourself or your mental health. So one thing or the other will work. Like, for example, like very simple, like I am a journaling coach, but my partner never journals, like never ever, and it's not his style, right? तो ठीक है भैया, मतलब सबका स्टाइल अलग है. he's quick at thinking about a certain thing, और उसको लिखने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ता. उसको लगता है लिखना is a slower process of thinking, because maybe just naturally his profession or life has trained him to process thoughts mentally. I'm a very different person. So it's also something you figure out for yourself. So for a person like that, maybe pranayams is a better tool for mental health, meditation, or spending time in nature. So you kind of figure it out for your own self that way. Also,
Wonderful.
be your own like emotional scientist.
Beautiful. Thank you, Akanksha, for answering all the questions. It was really helpful. My last question from you would be, what advice you would give to the youngsters, to even people who are being on the edge of something and thinking whether should I do it or not do it, how you can support, and what probably advice, as I said, you would like to give to people out there who are holding it back, thinking कि कुछ नहीं होगा उससे. So please.
Yeah, I think something that I've learned over time, and I had a difficult journey learning it. I've gone through a lot of shit in life to realize that you need to make yourself a priority. So all these excuses that we find for ourselves, because for which we think, अच्छा क्या जरूरत है टाइम निकालने की, to meditate, to journal, to exercise, to whatever, right? You cannot keep doing things, you cannot keep running your machine, which is your body, and you cannot continue to be there for others until you invest in yourself and until you take care of yourself. That's number one. So once you are convinced on the fact that you are your priority and no one else is going to take care of you as much as you need to and you can, then you realize the importance of, okay, if I realize I'm my priority, then I need to invest in myself. Then you say, okay, how can I invest in myself? तो उसमें एक एस्पेक्ट है आपका मेंटल और इमोशनल हेल्थ का, राइट? अब ऑब्वियसली मेडिटेशन और जर्नलिंग कैन नॉट मेक यू फिजिकली फिट. For that you will have to go and run, or you'll have to go and do some yoga or exercise. So the one part of it, या for example अगर आप रोज बैठ के छोले भटूरे खाते रहोगे तो फिर जर्नलिंग कुछ नहीं हेल्प करेगी उसमें, है ना? तो आपको क्या करना है कि जो एक आपका मेंटल हेल्थ वाला पार्ट है उसको भी आपको एक इम्पोर्टेंट समझने की जरूरत है. और एक बार वो समझ लोगे और उसके बाद एक ऑनेस्ट शॉट दे लो. अगर आपको लगता है होगा नहीं होगा, अरे ट्राई करे बिना कैसे पता नहीं होगा. एक बार कोशिश तो करना चाहिए ना. एक बार आप becoming a little curious and let that scientist be alive in you and okay, let me experiment. Will this work for me? Will this not work for me? It's possible it doesn't work, and then you can let go of it. But give it some time, and like any other habit, journaling is not going to work in one day. सोचो अभी किसी को वेट लूज करना है, वो बोले मैं 20 hours एक्सरसाइज कर लेता हूँ वर्सेस मैं 20 days 10 minutes एक्सरसाइज करूंगा, विच इज अ बेटर ऑप्शन. Like that, journaling also, not just one shot, it will be, although I can guarantee it will still be life changing even if you do it for a short span of time. But if you give it like a little bit of chance for a good amount, let's say for a month, 10 minutes also, you try it on and off, it will help. It will really help. And मुझे ऐसा लगता है एक बार आपको बस किसी को एक मौका देने की जरूरत होती है. एक बार वो मौका देके आपने ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन जब रियलाइज कर ली तो फिर आप छोड़ोगे नहीं खुद से उसको.
Beautiful.
हम मौका नहीं देते हैं, सिंसियर एफर्ट नहीं देते हैं. हम एक बार आपने सिंसियर एफर्ट दे लिया, जो कि मुश्किल होता है, तो अब वो मुश्किल के लिए आप क्या कर सकते हो? You can come to people like me.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yes. And you
so
said
you can get that support.
Right. You said beautifully itself that be the scientist in your life. I love that line. कि अपनी लाइफ में ही आपको रिसर्च करना है. You have to make that effort. So thank you so much, Akansha, once again for answering and for enlightening us with all the answers that you have provided, for making this effort, for knowing the difference what is journaling, mindful journaling. And for all the viewers, you can go and visit Mindful Journaling Academy on Instagram, and else Akansha Parashar Official. She is available on Facebook and Instagram, and in case you want to reach her personally, that's her ID, Akansha Parashar Official. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time with another person. Thank you again, Akansha. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.